Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A cup of water. First, I'm offering my Dandavat Pranams, my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most beloved Gurudev Nitya Lila Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Ashto Tarasata Sri Srila, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams at the lotus feet of my most worshipful beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Lila Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Asto Tarasata Sri Srila, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Lila Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Asto Tarasata Sri Srila, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, on his transcendental Tirubhav Mahamahotsav Titi, and Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Asto Tarasata Sri Srila, Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, on the Avirbhav Mahamahotsav Titi. My Dandavat Pranams to all my Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, and my Dandavat Pranams to all the Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavis. So, today was a very special day. I think most of the devotees could feel how today was very special. And the devotees opened up their hearts today. And this is what Sri Guru wants to see. That the devotees will, in humility and sincerity, that they will remember and hold very tightly to the lotus feet of Sri Guru. And Sri Guru is actually Sakshad Haritena. Real Guru is worshipped as a manifestation. Sakshad Haritena means a non-different manifestation of Sri Krishna. This realization is very necessary for the disciple, to have that faith. That faith comes in different stages. This was your point you were making. The faith comes in different stages. And in the beginning, the faith is kanishta. It is not all of a sudden firm and strong. It will begin in a soft way, very pliable. But that is the very beginning of our bhakti. Not only is it the beginning of bhakti, our Gurudev quite clearly explained that Shraddha is not a material manifestation of this world, like our ordinary faith, our mental faith. Everyone has some kind of, they call it Shraddha. There's an entire chapter in the Bhagavad Gita called Divisions of Faith. That is the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And there Sri Krishna is describing to Arjuna that there is faith in the various modes of nature. The person who's in the mode of ignorance, he will have faith in Tamagun. Person who's in the mode of passion will have faith in Rajagun. Person who's in the mode of goodness will have faith in sattva gun. But faith in relation to the absolute truth is not a material phenomenon. It's not just taking place in the mind as it does for the material objects of this world. What is that? It is called Param Artik Shraddha. Param Artha. What is the meaning of Param Artha? Can you say, anyone? Param Artha.
Greatest wealth. Greatest wealth?
Yes, also it means not just wealth, it also means necessity. Artha. So, what is the ultimate need of our soul, of our very self? The needs of the body, the needs of the mind, they are on the material level, and they are always changing. But Paramartha is one. And that is the relation between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. So, it means the supreme benefit that can be attained in our life by anyone. The supreme attainment, you can call it wealth, artha also, like that, sampad. Sampad means wealth. And it is a wealth. It is the greatest wealth. And that is Krishna praying. Krishna praying is the ultimate attainment of the jiva. Nothing else can come anywhere near to that. No form of liberation, mukti, moksha, that is a high achievement for materialistic persons. To become free from all suffering, from birth, death, disease, old age, etc. And to have a kind of existence in which one is always feeling a kind of joyfulness, Brahma Ananda. But that is impersonal. That achievement is also given in the Vedic literatures. But that is not the ultimate attainment of the soul, because the soul is what? The soul is actual Shakti of Krishna. The soul has an eternal function and an eternal relationship with Krishna, eternally. That can be manifested. The whole purpose of the Vedic knowledge is to know Krishna, to know our relationship with Krishna. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vidya. Krishna says that in the Gita. That Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vidya. All of the Vedas are for knowing me. And knowing Krishna means also to attain your relationship with Krishna. So all jivas have a relationship with Krishna forever, from beginningless time. But here, the jivas have forgotten their relationship with Krishna in the material world, and they become covered by the Maya Shakti potency, which covers us in the form of two different coverings. As soon as the jiva turns away from Krishna, Anadi Bahirmukh, Ataeva Taya Tare Maya Deha Samsaradi Dukh. When the jiva turns away from Krishna, since time immemorial, then Maya Shakti immediately takes that jiva, covers the jiva with a gross and a subtle body, and then the material existence begins. The process of accumulating karma, life after life after life, it begins to take place. And then this endless repetition of samsara, birth and death. So, no jiva can escape from this by any other process. Not by gyan, not by karma, not even by yoga. The jivas can only attain their original position of their relationship with Krishna through bhakti. Because bhakti is the natural function of the soul. So entire literatures of our acharyas are confirming this point, like the Jaiva Dharma of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that book, Jaiva Dharma. The meaning is what? The meaning is, what is the Dharma of the Jiva? Dharma of the Jiva, the eternal function of the Jiva. And that is one. What is that? Mahaprabhu told. Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishner Nitya Das. Krishner Tatasta Shakti Ved Abhed Prakash. Mahaprabhu told this to Sri Sanatana Goswami, that the eternal relationship with the Jiva and Krishna is that we are Nitya Krishna Das. It is our function. It can never change. It can never change. The serving function of the Jiva can never change. In the material world, the Jivas who are not surrendered to Krishna, they are also serving. But what are they serving? They're serving the Maya Shakti potency. And they're serving their body, their mind, and the extensions of the body and the mind. So, that function cannot change. Prabhupada used to point this out. Even if a person becomes the biggest king, the biggest, leader, and has so many persons under him, but still he is a servant. He is a servant of those persons. He is a servant of his own body and mind. So the Jiva can never give up service in any condition. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to remind the Jivas that your Swarup, your real form, is Nitya Krishna Das. Because you are the Tatasta Shakti of Krishna. That cannot change. That can never ever change. Jiva Tatasta Shakti Veda Veda Prakash. Krishna Tatasta Shakti. We are different and non-different from Krishna. Both. Ved, Abhed. The Jivas have the same qualities as Krishna. So the human form of life is for realizing, not only realizing, attaining that relationship with Krishna. How does that begin? It begins with Shraddha. Srila Gurudev told that this thing called Shraddha, what actually is it? He said, Shraddha is the last fraction, he used that term, the last fraction of Krishna prema. If you were to divide a fraction down to the tiniest part, right? 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, right on. So if you come to the tiniest little portion, then that's what Gurudev is indicating. The last fraction of prema. In other words, that Shraddha that comes into the heart of the conditioned soul is Krishna prema. But it's so tiny. But it's the beginning. It's the beginning of our relationship with Krishna. Yes? And therefore, Krishna arranges for the jivas who become very fortunate to receive over lifetimes so many different accumulations of sukriti. Sukriti. Pious credits. Sometimes it's called like that. And the sukriti accumulates and grows. And at first, it may not be very conscious sukriti, just like animals and so forth. They're near to the devotees, they get some prasadam, they hear kirtan like this. In that body, they cannot take advantage. But they're accumulating sukriti, and this is causeless mercy of Krishna. Krishna gives this causeless mercy to the jivas. Even Srila Jiva Goswami has told that in the form of Nam Abbas, Krishna gives mercy and sukriti to the jivas in the form of nam avas. How does he do that? Oh, in various languages of the world, the names of Krishna are there. The name Hari, for example, yes. If you go to Malaysia, it's kind of around the same time of the year as in the West, the Christmas time. But there's a festival, and everywhere you see Hari Raya, Hari Raya, Hari Raya. That's like Merry Christmas, you know. And Hari is there. And the name Rama. The name Rama is found in so many different words of so many different languages, in English also. Even right here, panorama, you see. But Jiva Goswami has explained that not only those names are there in the languages in their form, like both syllables connected, ha and ri, or ram, rama, but also separated by syllables. In other words, if you have a word that has the syllable ha in the beginning, and then there's a couple of syllables, and then there's the syllable ri, that is also namavas. This is how merciful Krishna is, that he comes in his name form, in ordinary language of the world, that the jivas, you get the credit for it. You set the name of Hari. This is Krishna's mercy. So in this way, the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, is directing the wanderings of the living entities and enabling them to gradually get Sukriti. When that Sukriti accumulates more and more, then what happens at that point is Sadhu Sangha. Krishna arranges for meeting saintly persons, holy places, festivals, and by this, the jivas now get what is called Gyata Sukriti. They knowingly and consciously perform some pious acts. And at that Gyata Sukriti, it gradually transforms into Shraddha. This is a gift. It's a special gift. Not everyone has this. Very few people, actually, in relation to the whole population of the earth, have Shraddha in their heart. That comes only when this Sadhu Sangha is attained through Gyata and Agyata Sukritis. And then, from that comes Bhakti. There is a verse, very nice shloka, that explains this very clearly. Gurudev used to tell this shloka, Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayati. Hear the word bhakti, bhaktistu. Bhakti, where does bhakti arise from? Where does bhakti come from? Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. Sangena. It comes from the association, from the Sangha of a Bhagavad Bhakta. This is where bhakti comes from, nowhere else. It does not come from any other place. Only from Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate. It arises from that. So then you have to ask the question, how do you get the association of a Bhagavad Bhakta? The next line tells that. Satsanga prapyate pumbir sukritayar purva sanchitayar. Here it is in one line. Satsanga prapyate, a person attains satsanga. That means with a Bhagavad Bhakta, with a pure devotee of Krishna. It comes, satsanga prapyate pumbir sukritar purva sanchitai. From many, many sukritis accumulated from previous lives. This is how it happens. If someone is fortunate, Bhagyavan, Bhagya means fortune. Bhagyavan means one who possesses good fortune. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that, and this was told to Rupa Goswami, That all the jivas that are existing within this material universe, all the jivas, that means in every species of life and every planet. So what's going on? Brahmanda Brahmite, Kono Bhagyavan Jiv. Brahmanda Brahmite means wandering and wandering in the universe. It's all that we've been doing. All of us. That's all that we've been doing for millions and millions of lifetimes. Brahmanda Brahmite, 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 wandering, wandering, wandering. Mahaprabhu told, sometimes in Swargaloka, the jivas are in demigod forms, sometimes in the hellish planets, Patal Loka, sometimes in the middle planetary systems, sometimes in human bodies, sometimes in fish body, bird bodies, all the different species of life, 8,400,000. And after wandering and wandering in all these forms, what happens? A particular jiva becomes fortunate, Bhagyavan. This, we've already explained how they become fortunate, okay? Because they receive this mercy, they get this sukriti, etc. So what happens to those that become Bhagyavan, that they become fortunate? Oh, something very wonderful. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. Bhakti Lata Bij. Bhakti Lata Bij. What is that? What is the meaning of Bhakti Lata Bij?
Seed of devotional service.
Yes. What is a lata?
Creeper.
Yes, it's a vine. Bhakti Lata. Bij. The seed of the Bhakti Lata. This example is given directly by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That seed by which you will one day attain Krishna Prem. That seed is called the Bhakti Lata Bij. It comes from the mercy of combined of Guru and Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. You should all know, sitting here in this room in New Braj, you have all gotten this in your life. You are one of those fortunate jivas. However it came to you in this life, it might have come from the womb of your mother. It might have come by being like Vyala Prabhu was saying. Or I could also tell my story. You see? All of these different ways in which we come in contact, there is no doubt whatsoever that you have accumulated from many lifetimes. This is one thing has to be understood by the devotees. This is not a chance occurrence. No one can come to this path and get the association of pure Vaishnavas without contact in previous lives. I just heard a lecture today, or yesterday. Prabhupada was telling this, exactly this. Everyone else always has previous. So what is needed is that this Bhakti Lata Bij, which actually is Shraddha, and it's implanted in our heart, it needs to be watered. This is our number one engagement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, at this point, now the devotee who has this Bhakti Lata Bij in the heart, what does he have to do? He has to become a gardener. Yes, that's our occupation. If anybody asks you, what do you do? Oh, I'm a gardener.
You know who said that?
And he says, actually, Mahaprabhu says, you have to become, the devotee must become a good gardener. Yes. That means you don't slough off. You don't let your plants dry up for a few days and water them when you feel like it, right? Because if you don't water it, it's going to dry up. This is one danger that we have to be very careful of. This Shraddha is very delicate. Now, when Mahaprabhu explained this to Rupa Goswami, which later on Rupa Goswami wrote the entire book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he told that there are many duties that this gardener has to perform. Has to. It's absolutely essential. And if he does not, there are some chances that this Bhakti Lata Bij, or even the little tiny creeper that's just beginning to grow out of this Bij, out of this seed, it can be destroyed. But usually, it's not destroyed unless one does the worst possible thing, and that is called Vaishnava Aparad. In that case, then, it's very, very dangerous. Very. Mad elephant. If an elephant walked here in our garden and looked and said, oh, I don't like that little creeper, and with its trunk, it pulled it, ripped it out of the soil, and then stomped upon it. That's what Vaishnava Aparad can do. It's a very serious, serious matter. And we have seen and witnessed very many different individuals whose bhakti has practically disappeared by doing this. Now, but before that, put water every day on your bhakti lata by hearing and chanting about Krishna. If anyone neglects these two things, Shravanam and Kirtanam, their faith and their Shraddha will become very, very weak and not be able to get proper realizations and advance properly. You have to give water every day, and then that creeper will gradually grow, gradually grow. Now, what else do you have to do? Fence. That creeper has to be given a fence surrounding it to protect it against animals that come and they want to eat the plant, right? So that fence is what? Sadhu Sangha. If you neglect Sadhu Sangha and hearing and chanting in Sadhu Sangha, then so many problems can come and the creeper can dry up. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this beautiful description how this creeper will grow. And once it grows very strong, then it can stand on its own. That means when you come to the stage of beginning with Nishta, that's Madhyam Adhikar, Nishta, then what? Ruchi. Ruchi. Gurudev used to talk about Ruchi so often. You know what he would say? He would say, I am simply praying to Krishna that you all can attain Ruchi in this life. In this life, I am praying to Krishna. This is a big leap for most. But Gurudev also said that by the power of a Mahabhagavad Vaishnava, that higher stage of Ruchi can also touch in the lower stages. This is how he told. It can touch in the lower stages. And then one can become so inspired that they follow properly, very strictly. They continue to always water that creeper, and more quickly they can come to the stage of Nishta and then Ruchi. And Gurudev said, at least, if you cannot come to Ruchi, at least Nishta in this life. And then Gurudev used to say, when you come to Ruchi, then something happens. You know how Gurudev described it? You can gallop, he told. You remember? You remember how he told that? When you come to Nishta, when you come to Ruchi, then you can gallop. And what does that mean? Oh, what is a gallop in a horse?
Faster. The fun stage.
Yeah, I mean the first beginning stage, when it first begins to run, it's like what it's called, trotting, right? Trotting.
Walking.
And then what's after that? It's like shifting gears, right?
Canter.
Canter.
Yeah, canter.
Then
Gallop.
gallop. So when the horses are let out and the gun, and all the horses in the stable, they just suddenly, they don't go through the other gears. No. They don't go. They gallop from the first moment. So Gurudev said that when you come to the stage of ruchi, where you have so much taste in all these activities of bhakti, so much enthusiasm. Today we were hearing about enthusiasm. Yes, utsaha, nishtayat, dariyat. This is what Rupa Goswami told. So when someone becomes enthusiastic like this, and they're following all the instructions with body, mind, words, everything, surrendering, living the life of a bhakta, of a Vaishnava, always, not deviating from that, then what happens? Oh, then Krishna becomes merciful, Guru becomes merciful, and some attachment, attraction, and some taste comes. When taste comes, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you at that point. Only if some mistake, Vaishnava Parad, but otherwise not. So in that life, then one can attain bhav. And once one has attained bhav, you are just on the threshold of Krishna prema. So Gurudev used to say, this can happen in 2, maybe 3 lifetimes for some of you. He would say like that. But what will that require? It will require not wasting any time in this life. Otherwise, it will be delayed. Otherwise, it will go on for a few lifetimes. But we want to attain what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. This is why Gurudev came. This is why Prabhupada came to the whole world, to give this treasure of Krishna prema. And we heard all the specifics about it. The Manasiksha can tell you the entire road map, how to become an eternal associate of Radha and Krishna with the mood of the gopis. This is the highest anything has ever been given in this universe. So, this is the message that Gurudev came to give. And when so many persons mentioned today, Gurudev used to always say, don't be weak, don't be weak, don't be weak. Well, what is it that you should be? You should be strong. That means following Upadeshamrita. Each verse of Upadeshamrita, it came from Mahaprabhu's lotus mouth through the pen of Rupa Goswami. If you apply that, if everyone applies that in their life, and they follow the simple practices, daily practices of the lifestyle that has been given in the line of Mahaprabhu and all the acharyas. If they follow the regulative principles, there's only 4 of them. You follow those, you'll go farther, faster, much faster. If you don't follow those, then you'll have a lot of problems, You might have to deviate for a few lifetimes, I mean, everybody they don't understand the seriousness of it. You're playing with fire.
Anchor.
Huh?
Like an anchor.
What? Oh yeah, putting down an anchor. Being stuck. Yeah, but also burned. Like fire. You play with fire, you get burned. So we have to realize we're responsible. Nobody else is responsible for our advancement in bhakti. We can't depend, although we have so many extended, beautiful, wonderful spiritual family members, but nobody else is going to do bhakti for us. Even Gurudev said, I will show you the pathway that you have to walk. And I will also walk with you and I'll hold your hand. But I am not going to carry you on my shoulders. You have to walk on your own 2 feet. Because that is how the jiva attains Krishna prema, by actually doing bhakti. So, now our time has gone. This is the end of our wonderful Disappearance Day Festival, Gurudev Appearance Day Festival, Srila Padmanabha Swami Maharaj. We've heard so many inspirational things. From this day, now we have to start putting these books in our heart. Gurudev is living on every page of Manasiksha, on every page of Jaiva Dharma, on every page of all of his books. Gurudev is fully living there. Who told this? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I'll end with his poem. He reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die. when thou art living still in sound. The Vaishnava dies to live, and living tries to spread the holy name around. So no Vaishnava ever dies. They are there, and you can communicate with them out of sincerity of your heart, just like all of you did today. A very beautiful experience. You can do that every day of your life, and chanting as they want you to do, and surrendering, and staying in sadhu sangha, not only living together, but chanting together, hearing together, doing all the activities of bhakti together. Then our life, it will become so successful. So successful. We want that. Our Atma wants that. The mind is a different thing. But our Atma wants that more than anything. So if we live in that way, then the result will automatically come to us. And Gurudev said, you cannot imagine what arrangement Krishna will make for you in your next life. And within 1 or 2 lifetimes, you can attain Krishna prema. So I offer my unlimited obeisances at the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, who came to bring this message for the whole world, for the whole society of Vaishnavas everywhere. He was the greatest friend, is the greatest friend still. That's why he said, my books are #1, most important thing. Because now still everybody can associate with him for the next thousands of years, just like Prabhupada said, my books will be the law books. He said that. These books I'm writing will be the law books for the human society for 10,000 years. You see? Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all these. So I'm so happy that I was blessed to be here in your association today and to hear from all of you. I consider that Srila Gurudev has showered his mercy on all of us. Prabhupada, Srila Padmanabha Swami Maharaj. And now we'll have Gaur Artik, Radha Krishna Jugal Artik, and bring our day to a very happy end. Gaur Premananda. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Padmanabha Swami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Rupanuga Guru Bhargava ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda Jiyo ki jai. Our Kirtaniyas that really are. Who will it be? We have whole groups of them. Oh, yeah. Brother Priya?
Bahu Gopi Chandra
जय श्री श्री गौरंग गंगावती गिरिधार गोविंद की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति वेदांत सेवक महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति वेदांत वामन महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति विज्ञान भारती महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति विज्ञान केशव महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति रक्षक श्री महाराज की जय नित्य प्रवेश मुष्टि पाद सत्य श्री महाराज भक्ति सरंत सरस्वती ठाकुर की जय श्री परमहंस सतगुरु स्वामी जी महाराज की जय श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय श्री वैष्णव सार्वभौम जगन्नाथ दास बाबू जी महाराज की जय गुरुदेव श्री वादी भूषण प्रभु की जय श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय श्री नारदम श्री वैष्णवानंद प्रभु राय की जय श्री कृष्ण रास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय श्री विश्वनाथ भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जी गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ सर गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय श्री सुप्रमदाय रॉय रामानंद गौर परशुराम की जय ब्रह्मचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री वेद गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम मायपुर धाम की जय श्री योगपीठ चक्र की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वारस बनात्मक श्री ब्रज मंडल की जय श्री राधा कुंभ श्याम कुंड जमुना गंगा तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय श्री देवी महारानी की जय श्री परमासी देवी की जय गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्र की जय क्षेत्र मंडल जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय श्री नृसिंह देव भगवान की जय श्री नृसिंह देव की जय भक्त प्रभार कुलाल महाराज की जय हरिनाम सरी संप्रदाय चार्य की जय ठाकुर माता राजी चैतन्य मात की जय अंतराज श्रीमद भगवत धाम की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय पावन हरिनाम महामंत्र की जय श्री तिरुभा महामहोत्सव फेस्टिवल श्री गुरुदेव की जय आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव श्री भावन महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय Shinu Braj Dham ki jai, all the devotees and guests and friends and family ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Namaste Narashingaya.